Well, a very good evening to each and every one of you. We have got a jam-packed show, so not much time for me to say. Click, subscribe, click a dingle-dongle, 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 subscribe. Welcome to your Manchester. So our first guest is a lady that's doing so much for the Youth Climate Board, and she's with us now. She's called Ash Farah. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Tell us what you're doing.
So my name's Ash, as you said, and I work for the Manchester Climate Change Youth Board. It's a volunteer group. There's 5 of us. We're all aged between 16 and 25.
Right.
And what we do is we get together and we try and engage as much as we can across the city with anyone who's has environmental concerns or ideas for sustainability. So we go into school groups, after school groups, extracurriculars, and try and speak to people and get a bit of a youth movement going surrounding climate action in Manchester.
And why is climate action so important all of a sudden? It seems to be getting more and more important with every single month. Why?
You're absolutely right. It's for the first time we're seeing this sort of like bottom-up approach where school kids are striking and Extinction Rebellion are out on the streets and protesting. And I think people have just become a lot more aware in the past few years, whether it's the Attenborough effect of all these wonderful documentaries that have been coming out and people want to take action but don't know how to. Maybe this is how they're going to express their right to
and
a voice.
If people wanted to get more involved with helping the environment, what would you say is the most important thing they can do?
Well, the most important thing they can do is make sure they're heard, write to your local MP, make reductions in your own life. And currently I'm running a crowdfunder to get a full-time paid youth action champion in Manchester. So they've got a stable platform, a steady income and some resources to make a big stink and influence politicians. So if they were willing to donate or just share our cause would be fantastic.
What is the ultimate goal?
The ultimate goal is to Manchester to be carbon neutral by 2038.
Yeah.
Every young person who's out on the streets protesting to have a stable platform and voice. Why should they give up their school lessons? We should be there for them. And I suppose the real goal is to ensure that Manchester becomes clean and green as soon as possible.
And you've made a little VT.
We have.
And we're going to show that for you right now. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. My name's Ash Farah and I'm raising money for a Youth Climate Action Champion. We hope that this can help us achieve a cleaner, greener Manchester. With experts warning of air pollution, plastic waste and sea level rise, our young people have taken to the streets to voice their concerns, yet young people are still being ignored. Currently, volunteer environmental groups all over the city are making an impact, but they lack the resources and stable platform for their work. I myself am a member of the Manchester Climate Change Youth Board, which we established in November 2017. We've engaged widely with youth groups at numerous events around the city, but as volunteers our work is limited and underfunded. We hope that the Youth Climate Action Champion can overcome this. We need your help to create a paid permanent Youth Climate Action Champion. If successful, our champion will build a network of over 20,000 young people across Greater Manchester, engaging with and creating awareness through varied mediums to educate on environmental issues. They will represent the youth at a formal level, to be heard and to influence local, national and international policy, to meet politicians, working in partnership with and supported by the Manchester Climate Change Agency. Our champion will secure funding for additional years to solidify their platform for climate action, with the hope of helping to create similar youth climate champion roles in other regions in the near future. We need your support to finance this role in order to make a difference and to drive forward positive environmental change. Donations of any amount will help assist this goal and support our youth champion to make a difference for you and the next generation. From air and plastic pollution to a lack of parks and biodiversity, with your support, it will aid us in creating a cleaner, greener Manchester. Please donate. Manchester's young people need you. Thank you.
And now we're joined by Bonnie, all the way from the Contact. How are you doing?
Really good, actually.
There's so much going on at the Contact, isn't there?
Yeah, there's so much.
It's everywhere as well, we should say that, shouldn't we? While they have their decoration.
Out of the building. And so, it's amazing how many places they've got into. And projects been making theatres out of anywhere, kind of getting.
And what's coming up at the moment then?
So, Ramping Up, which is a show that's actually a co-production between the young company at Contact and the Bafta Homegrown company, which is like a a similar project at Bafta in London.
Right.
And so we've done the show in London at Bafta, and now it's coming back home.
It's amazing. And what's that about then?
So the theme that was given was thinking about access in a post-Brexit society, and yet we had the whole, oh my gosh, how do you tackle those two themes? But like a Contact show always is, and I was lucky to be in 2 shows as a company member. It's so much of a journey about learning about those things, and it's a kind of, the show is a real sharing of people's thoughts about those things, like people's journeys about those things. So access. Yeah. I'm in no place to give you a lecture on access, but I've learned so much. Yeah. So much to not think about a person as being disabled, but just about a disability being something that prevents someone from doing something or going somewhere. Yeah. And just that way of thinking about things has been a really, really great process. So we've ended up with a show that's about Brexit. Right. But it kind of says, what the hell? Yeah. What the hell is going on? We've got loads of people of different ages in the company, and some people who couldn't vote at the time. And everyone has.
So what's their take been on it then?
I think everyone's take is like, there's this barrier, isn't there? And then we found, and that's how we kind of found the connection between Brexit. It's such an example of something that so many people can't access. Also, so many people don't realise might be relevant to them. So we've got so many different things. We've got a lot of frustration, a lot of people's realisation of going, hold on a second, this is going to affect me, and I didn't think I would. Things have changed in the last few years. Really, some really touching stuff. We've got raps about it. We've got people singing songs about it. We've got just about kind of what it means to vote and have a say in general.
So there's lots in there then, isn't there?
Yeah.
So would you say it leans towards drama, comedy, or is it like a plethora of
lots of comedy in there.
Right.
I'd say it's a real good example of theatre being everything and anything. And with so many people, and going throughout the process, we thought there are so many people with so many just skills and talents.
And this venue that it's at, the Bread Shed. Where's this? This is a new one to me.
Do you know where the Deaf Institute is?
Yes.
Yeah, so like near Man Met, just there, just opposite Deaf Institute.
Right.
So quite close by.
And that's on the 3rd and 4th of May.
Yeah.
Yeah, this coming up very, very soon. It sounds absolutely fantastic.
So check it all out.
We will check it all out. Thanks very much for coming in today, Bonnie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, it's now time to hand over to our Hayley, as she tells us exactly what's going on the screen. Hales, take it away.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to On The Box. Now, before I talk about anything screen orientated, I want to just draw your attention to this lovely little slide in my hair, which is a bow, as you can see. Now, I've actually been for a quick meeting with the CEO of Manchester charity Mood Swings, Linda, and she's asked me to wear one of these for our show. Now, they're absolutely beautiful. They cost £17 and the profits go straight to Mood Swings, and that money is going towards their community cafe. So do have a look on their Instagram. It's Mood Swings MCR, and you'll see lots of celebrities wearing the exact same bow. Now, let's have a quick chat about what's on the box, because let's start with Netflix. New Drama Society, that starts soon. Comedy series Easy returns, and Danish series The Rain is also back. Later in May, What If starts, and that stars Renée Zellweger. It's about the ripple effects of what happens when acceptable people start doing unacceptable things. Now, talking of BAFTAs, who's up for one? Those in the must-see moment category include the wonderful monologue performed by our Helen Worth in Coronation Street when Aidan had actually taken his life. Doctor Who, Rosa Parks, the Doctor and her companions make sure historical moments actually remain. Killing Eve, Eve stabs Oksana. Peter Kay's car share, the finale. Bodyguard, the bomb during Julian Montagu's speech. And Queer Eye, Tom completes his transformation. Now, those nommed in the best drama category, they are Bodyguard, Informer, Killing Eve and Save Me. Best leading actor nominees are Benedict Cumberbatch for Patrick Melrose, Two Cities. Chance Perdomo in Killed by My Debt. Hugh Grant, A Very English Scandal, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, by the way. And up for Best Leading Actress are Judy Comer for Killing Eve, Keely Hawes in The Bodyguard, Ruth Wilson in Mrs. Wilson. I think that's on BBC iPlayer at the moment, by the way. And also Sandra Oh for Killing Eve 2. You'll be able to watch all the BAFTAs on Sunday, the 12th of May. And that's it from me, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Well, now we're joined by Mr. Simon Naylor, who's just rushed in, literally, to tell us all about something very, very unique. What's going on?
What, with the Archies?
Yeah.
Well, what is going on? We've been there for about 2.5 years now, and the lease, we always knew we were going to get kicked out. We always knew it was going to come to an end, and that has happened.
But it's lovely.
I know,
It's
it is
a
lovely.
shame.
It is lovely, and we're really sad. We've actually spent all day clearing it up today. We've been taking the rigging down and getting everything moved out.
And then what's next?
So, we have the lease in its early stages for the next venue,
Right.
which will be more Archies. We're not allowed to tell you where yet.
Okay.
Planning has gone in,
Yeah.
and once that gets made public, then everyone will obviously know.
So then we have to say then it's definitely not the end of 53.2.
Well, no, 53.2 will always continue. In what guise, we don't know, because it's a charity as well.
Yeah.
So we'll always be there supporting actors and giving back. If everything goes according to plan, touch wood and all that, then we'll be in somewhere at the end of this year, beginning next year.
Right.
With a longer lease, a longer lifespan, and a little bit more experience. So it's all looking good.
And how could people get involved in coming to help you out, or perhaps are people needed even?
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah, loads of people needed. We've had 4 volunteers in today, brilliant people, shifting, lifting, doing costumes, all that kind of stuff. Follow us on social media, really. We're always doing shout outs for people to help. If you are a millionaire,
Yeah.
we need your money.
Always.
Just because it's going to take a lot of money to do the next venue.
Right.
So we're still taking donations, 532.com/donate. We're still taking donations. All of that goes into the charity account and will go towards the charity work that 53.2 do about making accessible theatre, affordable theatre and quality theatre.
Because there's so much need for it though, isn't there?
There is.
People want to act, but not necessarily, they don't necessarily go into like the big shows like the West End and everything, but they all want to try the trade out. They want to
absolutely
give it a go, don't they?
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. We're massive on providing new talent. Our charity sort of initiative is called Foundation, and that's launched 2 brand new theatre companies, giving people free rehearsal space. We've got our Young Creative Switch. We've also now got an elders company, it would appear so. We've adopted from the Royal Exchange, so they use our space as well. But yeah, it's all about space that people wouldn't otherwise get the chance to use,
Okay. So one more time, if people do want to donate, what do they do?
If they want to donate, we'll love them very much. They go to 532.com/donate. And there's a list of prices on there and little sort of thank yous that you'll receive. If they want to know any more information, they can drop us an email on info@532.com, because we are looking for corporate sponsors as well.
Yeah. Right, what we're doing now is, you may remember a programme that's been on over on BBC television, and it's called Glow Up. It's all about makeup trades and learning how to do different makeup styles. One guy that was in that, he came 3rd, everybody. His name is Lee, and he came in last week to show us a little technique with one of our little crew called Danny, and it went like this.
So today we have the fabulous Lee with us, and he's going to be putting me in my first makeup look ever.
Okay, so I'm going to work in black and white because it's my favourite to work in, and I'm going to do a redo of my Rorschach look that I did in Glow Up. So I'm just going to use a white base foundation, so I'm not going to cover your whole face,
Awesome.
because otherwise you'll be here all day.
Nice.
I'm just going to do a strip, and then we're going to recreate the ink blots right across the middle to make it as symmetrical as possible. Designers don't just design for clothes shops, they design to make a statement.
Of course, yeah.
And makeup can be used for just the same. I think a lot more people have an interest in makeup than they used to have. And I think sometimes it's for people to feel more confident, sometimes it's just for people to express themselves, and I think most brands make makeup for everyone. It's not just been for women.
Of course.
So why not pick up some foundation on your way down the street? Why not pick up some concealer?
Go to Boots. Other retailers are available, but I'm sure whatever you choose to do this evening, as long as it's makeup related, you'll have a good time.
Or just buy some face paints and get carried away like I did.
Oh, was that how you started with face paints then?
It was, yeah. It was just face paints and cream paints as well, which are essentially like foundations, just thicker.
And when you started with the makeup, could you describe your first look for us?
The first thing I ever did was I turned myself into a wooden puppet.
Wow.
Because it was for Halloween, I was trying to do something a little bit creepy.
So, in comparison to your competitors, do you think there was any strong competition against you?
Definitely. I think, especially when I first went in, I need to move this table. Especially when I first went in, I think I was a bit overwhelmed because some of the other people in the competition I'd seen on social media, and I knew they were really strong artists. So that was quite overwhelming when I went in. I just started an Instagram account, I'd only just started makeup, and then I've seen these people with hundreds of thousands of followers popping out incredible work, and I'm in a competition competing with them. Although everything was new for me, so everything was still exciting.
Ah, right.
No matter what the challenge was, it was new and it was exciting. So working Fashion Week was new, and I didn't think I'd get the chance to do that within the space of a year. I didn't think I'd get to potentially work on a shoot with a fashion magazine in the space of a year. We got to work with a prosthetics artist that had worked on Harry Potter. Like,
really?
What sort of madness is that? Like, who gets to do that in the first year of... I always just say playing with makeup, but that's exactly what I do.
One of the things that you must need to make sure you're strong with is keeping your face clean when you're not putting makeup on it, right? Like hygiene and skincare.
Yes, which is something I've only recently discovered.
Oh,
much
really?
To Ellis's horror. When we were filming, when we were living away, Ellis was horrified because my skincare regime is basically non-existent.
When you sit down to do a face, do you plan it out in steps of, okay, the eyes will be first, then we move to the face, then we move to the lips, or...
I'm really messy, so yeah. I have to start with eyes, otherwise I get eyeshadow all over my face. So generally, I have a routine that I'd go through. Start with my eyebrows, or somebody else's eyebrows, eyes next, and then skin, and then lips last. Because lips can be tricky, but they can be cleaned up as well.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought lips to be the most difficult part of it.
When you look at somebody's lips, they look fairly symmetrical. The minute you start putting colour on somebody's lips, you can see if they are or if they're not.
Oh, really?
So I used to think I used to quite like my lips and think that they were quite symmetrical. Now whenever I put lipstick on, especially red, I'm like, I need some fillers.
I wish I could explain it to you at home how having this little bit of... It's a brush, I know it's a brush, but it doesn't feel like a brush. It's like, I'm going to say, like a bird in my ear. It just feels like a little beak.
Honestly, I'm just doing it for torture now as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't say it wasn't a good feeling, love, don't worry. Yes! Come through.
It's very bright, isn't it? There you go.
Look at this.
Does it look symmetrical to you?
It looks amazing. If my jaw wasn't attached, it'd be on the floor.
Do you feel like a superhero?
I feel like I could take on Canal Street, Manchester, the rest of the world with a face like this. And I think that's about as much as I've got to say on the matter. How are you feeling about it? You happy?
It's as symmetrical as I wanted it to be, yeah.
Well, that's what we need to hear. Absolutely. And so, with that, I think it's time for us to sign off. If you've liked what you've seen, we can check out Lee on all of his socials, which we'll get in the links down below. Other than that, if there's anything else you'd like to say, I think it's time for us to sign off.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. High five.
High five.
Hello, Titters, how are you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, the other week I heard you talking to Shell
Yeah.
about sending me to the doghouse.
Oh, have you been?
So I've been, yeah,
Oh.
I went to Denton, to the Dogs Trust at Denton on Sunday.
Right.
For a little day out and have a little mooch round.
And how was it?
It was quite fabulous, really, because it's not what I expected.
Well, what did you expect?
Well, I expected sort of like wooden kennels and
Yeah.
sort of like people stroking dogs and all that sort of thing. But it's not, it's all of a state-of-the-art building.
State-of-the-art building for dogs?
Yeah, for dogs, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's on an industrial estate in Denton. And you're going through the main entrance and above, a big welcome sign.
Right.
And down below, you've got the reception desk.
Yeah.
Which is basically a three-dimensional dog's paw. It's beautiful. It's all absolutely gorgeous. Lovely, lovely receptionist. There's a little shop on the right that does pick and mix for dogs. And
Pick and mix for dogs?
yeah, £1.50 for pick and mix.
Can humans eat them?
Pardon?
Can humans eat them?
I didn't try. I didn't try. I thought about getting a pig's ear, but I can make a pig's ear at home, so I didn't bother buying one of them.
So you can't get dog biscuits, but you can. I like a soggy biscuit personally.
Well, there was a lovely dog there called Duke.
Right.
Bit of a wolf, grey one. And it always pacing around. And all the there's information about each dog. And it would only be suitable if you had an open plan house. If you've only got small rooms,
Yeah.
it would feel
Trapped.
like a prisoner.
Yeah.
So not a good choice for that type of family. And I can understand why people get affectionate with the dogs. One of the other things I really liked, if you went upstairs through the cafe area, you could go out onto the veranda.
Yeah.
And outside, they've got these exercise areas. And it's like one of them, you've got terraces. So instead of just throwing the ball for the dog
Yeah.
to run on the flat, it was bounding up these like
climbing
hurdles,
up
getting
it, really.
old. And it was just sort of like the thought that has gone into the centre. Quite
So what's the
brilliant.
process if somebody does want to adopt one of these dogs?
Basically, you go along and say, right, I would like to be a family for a dog.
Yeah.
You fill in your details and such of, if you've got children,
Yeah.
if you haven't, if you're an old couple who live alone, because certain dogs have certain needs.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
And then you'll have a little chat with an advisor.
Yeah.
And then you'll be sort of like, you'll be matched with a dog or a dog of your choice. But if there isn't one in at the time,
Yeah.
then you're just going to register until there's a dog that you are suitable for.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Titters.
Okay,
I'll do it for Shell because she's not here. Ta-ta, Titters.
Ta-ta.
Well, that's about all we've got time for today, everybody. However, make sure you join us next week because it is Mental Health Awareness Week. And for that very, very reason, we are going to a very special place to find out exactly what we can do to help or alleviate mental health issues within the Greater Manchester area. Until then, make sure you subscribe, make sure you click on the dingle dongle just there, and make sure you tell everybody all about the wonderful world of your Manchester.